or should I say families of late talkers. Mary Camarata here. Hope your day is going good. I wanted to talk to you today about consent forms. I've been listening to Steve and Colette, and they talked a little bit about those first referrals, whether it's to a private clinic, whether it's to an early intervention system, or preschool services or school-age services that are run through your state. And it's a lot, but you know what's common to all of them? There's a lot of really good things that are common to all of them. And I'm hoping the thing that you find that's the most common to all of them are people that really care about helping you and helping your late talker. And that's going to be the vast majority of your experiences. But we still need to do our due diligence. And my message today is about doing just that, and it has to do with the consent forms you sign. Let's use an example of a school system, because many, many, many of you are going to be approaching either early intervention systems, the school-age preschool, the preschool services through the state, or kindergarten and onward. One of the things that's going to be common to all of them is they're going to send you, among other things, a consent form to meet your child and evaluate your child, which is completely reasonable. Here's the thing. I am happy to consign a consent, but as parents, we want to know what we are consenting to. And that team is there to help you. I'm going to make that assumption that they're there to help you. And so I'm going to advise you that when you receive a blanket consent, a very general consent, maybe that says something like, I give my permission for you to assess my child or evaluate my child, I would want something more specific. And I would email, I wouldn't call, I would do something that was documentable. I would email the people in charge, your case manager or the powers that be, and say a very polite, thank you so much for helping me with my child. I'm looking forward to you meeting them and evaluating them. And I'm happy to sign this consent, but I want to know what I'm consenting to first, and give that agency or school or clinic the opportunity to email you back and tell you specifically what you're consenting to. It's not an unreasonable thing to ask for. I would say in about half, I do this a lot, right? I advise a lot of my parents to do this. And I would say in about half of the cases, you get a very cogent answer back, and it's very specific, and that's very nice. And then you can look at that. You can look at that with maybe a speech language pathologist. You can look at it yourself, and if you have any questions about it, you can ask them specifically about the process. In about half the cases, a more general answer comes back that says, a lot of it just sort of depends on the morning. We haven't met your child. We don't know who's walking through the door. There is a whole array of assessments or activities that we could do, so we're just not sure. All right, it is fair that as clinicians, we do react to the child we meet, and we might make, differentiated choices about how to proceed with that evaluation. And that's reasonable. However, it is not an unlimited choice. And for the vast majority of evals, when we know we're going to see a little 2-year-old or a little 5-year-old or a little, 6-year-old or 4-year-old, we have a pretty good idea about the areas that we want to look at and our sort of preferred modus operandi to get at that information. So if you do get one of those more generalized answers back, I would say another email. I completely understand you haven't met my son or daughter at this point, so it's reasonable that, I can understand that we want to keep some flexibility. Then can you just tell me the potentials? What kinds of things are we looking at? Who's going to see my child? What are you potentially going to assess them with? It's fine with me if you don't do all of them, but I want to know what the potentials are so that when I'm signing this consent, that I know exactly what I'm consenting to. And it's wonderful to have helpers. It's wonderful to have psychologists and speech pathologists and awesome teachers and supportive school systems, and they're really, really important on your journey. However, the person's going to be consistent in your child's life, the person that's going to follow them through the stages and along this journey, the person who is going to do that is you as the parent. And as I have heard, and I've borrowed the phrase, and it means a lot to me, I'm not really much of a co-parent. I like helpers. I think it's great. I love the support, but I am still the parent. And so it's important for me to know what I'm consenting to for my child, to know where I'm sending my child, to know who my child is going to be around and what it's going to look like. And none of the parents, none of the professionals on that team will think it is unreasonable for a parent to say, I'm really happy to be working with you. I'm excited for this chance to help my child. But if I'm going to consent, I need to know what I'm consenting to. So send that first email. You'll probably get something back that's pretty cogent and specific. If you don't, pretty good chance you won't either. You'll get something more general, like we just don't answer those kinds of questions. It's just too fluid. Send a second email and let them know you appreciate that, and then give me the range of your fluidity. And then if there's anything on there that you feel questionable about, or you don't know what it's for, or you're wondering why they're doing it, communicate with them. You're part of the team, and they want to bring you along. And sometimes we have to let them know, hey, we really want to be brought along, and we are going to be an active participant in this process. So that is my advice for today. And I hope that you all have a great day ahead, and I look forward to our next travel note. All right. Bye-bye.